Would you like a lot of good news today? Trump's popularity, his support is tanking in multiple demographics. And it's interesting because Fox News isn't reporting on this. The White House isn't reporting on this. Caroline Leavitt is flat out lying about it. And something tells me that the little creepy weasel, Steve Miller, who really runs the government, is pushing for the National Guard to go into multiple states because he's trying to reverse these numbers and he thinks that's how it's going to be done. Sociopaths aren't smart, you know. So according to the University of Massachusetts Amherst, they found that Trump's handling of the Epstein file has done significant damage to his standing among his supporters. 7 out of 10 Americans believe Trump is not handling the matter well. This includes 43% of self-identified Republicans and 47% of those who voted for him. And of the 47% who voted for him, 28% now disapprove of the job Trump is doing as president. What's interesting is 1/4 of these same voters said that they would not vote for him again. And what this means is this is going to impact the enthusiasm of Republicans to get out and vote in midterm elections. But I'm not done. Pew Research. Trump has lost all of the gains he's made with the Latino community since he first ran in 2016. His support with the Latinos has dropped to 27%. 1/3 of Latino Trump voters said they are now undecided about who to vote for in 2026. So notice, they don't want to vote for Republicans because of Trump. Their focus is the economy. The economy is tanking under Trump, but they didn't say they're going to vote for Democrats. So Democrats, listen up. Another Pew Research poll, 1/3 of Trump's young voters between the ages of 18 to 29, only 1/3 of them approve of the job he is doing. Only 1/3 of young people who voted for him. This is compared to his first few weeks, where 90% of these same young voters approved of what he was doing.
Hello guys, welcome back to my social comment share. I hope we all are good and where we are watching this video. First and foremost, I would like to say that we are not supporting and we are not criticizing. All we are doing is publicizing. We are trying to pass out information to the world by bringing on what is happening around the world, what is happening in our country, what is happening and is affecting lives and ambitions. Okay, breaking news. It seems like our president, Donald Trump, like I saw, has been losing, will I say supporters, so that I don't go too extreme to that. We all know that many things has been happening right from when he was being interviewed. So our president said he was going to Russia for the meeting, while the meeting was meant to be or has already been held at Alaska. So it's a lot that has been happening with the Latinos, with the lot that has been happening in the conference meeting, a lot that has been happening to the immigrants and what happened today being the 24th day of August 2025. The whole wide world, let me not say the whole wide world, some part of the world and some countries are celebrating with President Zelensky of Ukraine because today marks 34 years of Ukraine's independence and our president is being backlashed on the official TikTok account. So without wasting much of our time, if this is your first time of seeing this video, do well to hit the like button and tell us what you think about this in the comment section.
Would you like a lot of good news today? Trump's popularity, his support is tanking in multiple demographics. And it's interesting because Fox News isn't reporting on this. The White House isn't reporting on this. Caroline Leavitt is flat out lying about it. And something tells me that the little creepy weasel, Steve Miller, who really runs the government, is pushing for the National Guard to go into multiple states because he's trying to reverse these numbers and he thinks that's how it's going to be done. Sociopaths aren't smart, you know. So according to the University of Massachusetts Amherst, They found that Trump's handling of the Epstein file has done significant damage to his standing among his supporters. 7 out of 10 Americans believe Trump is not handling the matter well. This includes 43% of self-identified Republicans and 47% of those who voted for him. And of the 47% who voted for him, 28% now disapprove of the job Trump is doing as president. What's interesting is 1/4 of these same voters said that they would not vote for him again. And what this means is this is going to impact the enthusiasm of Republicans to get out and vote in midterm elections. But I'm not done. Pew Research. Trump has lost all of the gains he's made with the Latino community since he first ran in 2016. His support with the Latinos has dropped to 27%. 1/3 of Latino Trump voters said they are now undecided about who to vote for in 2026. So notice, they don't want to vote for Republicans because of Trump. Their focus is the economy. The economy is tanking under Trump, but they didn't say they're going to vote for Democrats. So Democrats, listen up. Another Pew Research poll, 1/3 of Trump's young voters between the ages of 18 to 29, only 1/3 of them approve of the job he is doing. Only 1/3 of young people who voted for him. This is compared to his first few weeks, where 90% of these same young voters approved of what he was doing. Overall, his performance has dropped by 23 points with young voters who voted for him. This includes former Democratic young voters. Fox News poll, Donald Trump's approval rating with women reverses course. It has declined since June. In June, he lost 16% of the women who voted for him. And now it's at 21%. He's losing ground there. All told, 62% of women now disapprove of the job that Donald Trump is doing. And now a CBS YouGov poll. Trump's support among men is dropping. Just 47% of men approve of the job he's doing. 53% disapprove. More broadly, Trump's approval rating was negative in the majority of states 6 months into his presidency. And finally, a Decision Desk HQ poll found that 70% of Black voters who voted for Trump in 2024 disapprove of the job he's doing, essentially eliminating the gains that he made in that demographic for the 2024 election. Nobody's reporting on these numbers, but the White House knows. Republicans know. And this is why they're stealing headlines with the national ground. They think that this is going to energize their base, keep them loving these racists in the White House. But it's always been the economy, the economy, the economy. Will Democrats step into this and step up finally and focus on the economy for everyday Americans and not serve AIPAC and corporate lobbyists? We're going to have to hope for it, and it's up to you and up to me to vote for those kind of Democratic candidates at the midterm Democratic primaries.
Today is Ukraine's Independence Day. 34 years since Ukraine declared its own independence. Right there you see Prime Minister Carney of Canada with President Zelensky of Ukraine by the Wall of Remembrance, taking on an even greater significance today. So while world leaders were all wishing President Zelensky congratulations on Independence Day and showing solidarity with Ukraine during these difficult times, Donald Trump was attacking the governor of Maryland and saying that Trump may withhold funding for bridges in Maryland because he did not like that the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, who we've had here on the Midas Touch Network, invited Donald Trump to tour Maryland so that Donald Trump thinks twice before doing a military invasion of Maryland with American National Guard and other active military forces, which is also what Donald Trump is planning to do in the state of Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker had to respond yesterday saying, don't you dare send military to invade our state of Illinois. I just want you to think about that contrast, that juxtaposition between Prime Minister Carney standing shoulder to shoulder with President Zelensky by the Wall of Remembrance today, while Donald Trump is posting, Governor Wes Moore of Maryland has asked in a rather nasty and provocative tone that I walk the streets of Maryland with him. I assume he's talking about the out-of-control crime-ridden Baltimore. As president, I would much prefer that he clean up this crime disaster before I go there for a walk. It's almost as if you put this prompt into AI and said, what would a nasty, comical supervillain behave like? And you would spew out something like this. Then it goes on to say, I gave Wes Moore, as though Donald Trump was the one who did it. I gave Wes Moore a lot of money to fix his demolished bridge. I will now have to rethink that decision. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. President DJT. Yes, MAGA, own the libs by destroying bridges that everybody uses so that everybody dies. Real smart plan, everybody. Do military invasions of American states by the federal government. Real smart plan, everybody. I mean, what the hell am I even reading to you? What a humiliating and embarrassing, despicable nation we've become under this Trump regime. What a terrible thing. By the way, here is what Vice President J.D. Vance is saying this morning, because as we've reported here on the Midas Touch Network, which deserves more attention, frankly, Russia hit an American factory in Western
These
Ukraine.
texts that I just got from somebody who hath frozen over. Oh my God, you guys, listen to these texts that I just got from somebody who is, well, apparently was mega that I served in the Army with. How are you? Hey, I'm good. Just finished watching Gavin Newsom signing the bill to vote to redistrict California response to Texas. You? Yeah, I saw that too. Do you want to know what I think? I said, I already know what you think. Come on. I bet you don't. I said, okay, try me. I think it's only fair and no one can bitch about it. If I lived in California, I'd vote for it, even though it'd fuck me over until the new maps are redrawn after the census. I may be a Republican that voted for him, but this isn't what I thought I was voting for. Absolutely none of this is what being small government or fiscally conservative is about. I honestly don't understand how anyone can call themselves MAGA and a Republican at this point. You're either one or the other, but you can't be both, because Republicans aren't for using the military to police civilians, nor are they for the out-of-control spending that this guy is doing. I also know you and others from DC, and I see it with my own eyes that nothing crazy is going on. Arresting people protesting your presence there is just provoking arrests. Me and a group of guys at the VFW were discussing it, and it just doesn't sit right with us what's going on. We were grappling with the idea that we are going to have to either sit out voting in 26 or vote for a Democrat, and either way, that's a vote for a Democrat in this state, because we have a very slim majority already, but it's the only thing to do if you support the Constitution. Anyone with sense can see the cracks that are there in regard to Trump's judgment. One of the older guys said his line in the sand was when he let a communist leader into this country, into his vehicle, and basically fangirled over him on a hot mic. I don't know what that was about, the hot mic. I listened, but I didn't hear that. The only reason the topic was even discussed is because everyone asked him where his hat was. He's been wearing a MAGA hat every day since 2016, and seeing his bare head was fucking weird, so everyone was asking about it. Once he admitted that he no longer could support Trump, then others started speaking up also. Apparently, one old guy there never did, but didn't feel like arguing with the rest of us, so he never said anything. Anyway, yeah, that's a long way to say that I would vote for the redistricting because it's the right thing to do. Voting for Trump wasn't the right thing to do. I should have listened to my gut after the January 6th shit happened. I wish I'd stayed home and never voted last year. I haven't read all this yet, but I know you fucking lying! What do you think in the comments? Because I am shook.
So now we have to play that age-old game. Is Trump being conniving, or is he just an idiot? Because the answer often depends on what day it is. Because he continues to show us that he has no clue how the federal government works. You may remember that several days ago, when Trump said he was going to do away with all mail-in ballots and voting machines before the midterms, he said that the states are just a mechanism to tabulate votes, and that those states have to do whatever the federal government and the president tell them to do, which is completely fucking wrong. The states have complete power over how their elections are run. So was he being maliciously authoritarian or just an idiot? Because now he's doing it again. Because in response to his national security advisor, John Bolton, being raided by the FBI, Trump claimed that he himself is the chief law enforcement officer. When he was asked if he knew about the raid ahead of time, he made a no statement that was easily translated to a yes. He said, "No, I only found out about it today, but I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer." And like the other tens of thousands of lies he's told over the years, this is full of bullshit. First of all, the president is supposed to stay separate from the DOJ and not get involved in their investigations, which is why Biden never spoke to Jack Smith. But according to the government and the White House's own guidelines, the U.S. Attorney General is the nation's chief law enforcement officer. So again, is he malicious or is he just fucking stupid? Because this testicle-shitting rectal wart seems to think he's judge, jury, and executioner. Also, when he came out to give that statement to the press, he looked haggard as fuck.
No, I don't know about it. I saw it on television this morning. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. He's a real sort of a lowlife. When I hired him, he served a good purpose because, as you know, he was one of the people that forced Bush to do the ridiculous bombings in the Middle East. Bolton, he wants to always kill people.
I mean, seriously, what the fuck was that? He sounded like he was half dead. And the audacity of him claiming that John Bolton just always wants to kill people, while Trump himself, a month into office, said he was going to commit war crimes and level Gaza to the ground to turn it into resorts for rich people and force the Palestinians out of their own home. But he's also taking away health care for millions of Americans and sending hundreds of thousands of people to concentration camps. I still got the banana Speedo, guys. Just let me know when that big, beautiful obituary drops.
Senator Bernie Sanders bringing the House down in Davenport, Iowa, before a packed crowd as part of his Fight the Oligarchy tour. He brought a powerful message to Iowa, just like he's been bringing across the country, red states, purple states, and blue states. Senator Sanders says, "Hey, Donald, get the hell out. If you can't take criticism and you're that weak, get the hell out of here." The crowd absolutely loved it. Here, play this clip.
This great big bully is afraid of people criticizing him. So, Mr. President, if you are afraid of criticism, get the hell out of politics.
Let me just show you the packed crowd and their reception to Bernie Sanders in Iowa. It's what I love, that Bernie Sanders has been going to red states and purple states and talking about how oligarchs are screwing over workers. This is a message that transcends red and blue and purple and Democrat and Republican. It's the real struggle. The White House just wrapped up 2 disastrous press conferences, and the press asked, after just this nonsense being spewed, "Can we speak to Donald Trump's doctor, please? Can we speak to a medical professional here? Are we going to get access? Because what the heck is going on?" To which Donald Trump's chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt, during her press conference was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that." So there was a Caroline Leavitt press conference, and then there was a Jeanine Pirro. She's now Donald Trump's top attorney, federal prosecutor in Washington, D.C. There was that press conference. Let me just show you what went down. So first you have Caroline Leavitt being asked, Donald Trump said he was going to Russia. He kept on calling Alaska Russia. What did he mean by that? Watch her try to cover up for Trump's cognitive impairment. Here, play this clip.
Charlie.
The president said at the podium yesterday twice that he was planning to go to Russia. Was that a verbal slip up, or does he actually plan?
Guys, thank you for watching this video. We really appreciate. I hope our means for passing this information was understood clearly by everyone that watched this video. We thank you for hitting the like button to subscribe and telling us what you think about the video in the comment section.